Good afternoon. Here's a roundup of recent news. This week, a man with no need of a hairbrush was defended by a man who really ought to go and buy one. Another man who we think owns several hairbrushes removed a woman from her job because she didn't defend the man with no need of a hairbrush. It's believed that she owns even more hairbrushes than the man who sacked her. 60 men and women from across UK rediscovered their backbones, and 600 men and women, also from all over UK, were shut out of the house. Their hairbrush ownership status is varied and mainly unknown. A man from Workington, who has very little hair to begin with, sent a patronising defence of the man with no hair to his local paper, and all the other Workington men and women told him where to go. A man from Uxbridge, the one without the hairbrush, told some scientists to shut up, and a man who worked with housing admitted illegally helping a mate take 40 million quid from the people of Tower Hamlets. Both these men do own hairbrushes. We learned that a woman called Mary wrote an article about self-isolating in London while enjoying life in her second home on Daddy's northeastern estate. Then her husband, the man with no hair, decided to drive her and their 4-year-old around County Durham to check that he wasn't blind. Mary was too busy coughing into her hairbrush to notice anything amiss. Lots of people have died. More people have died in the United Kingdom than in the whole of Europe, but that's okay because Brexit. They were probably Ramonas anyway, and they probably were the ones hoarding all their hairbrushes too. 54% of Brits want a Brexit extension of at least a year, but Boris has said no. And since his Enabling Act was passed by the people who so recently rediscovered their backbones and were shut out of the house, he can do whatever he likes. Many people have suggested that it might have been better if they'd rediscovered their backbones a little earlier, but 80 grand a year buys an awful lot of hairbrushes, so it took them a while to start looking. It might have been nice if they'd given their hairbrush fetish a miss long enough to vote against lowering our food standards instead of for it, but that's Tory MPs for you. Mr Gove, who often lets his hair do all the talking, admitted that we will have to compromise on trade tariffs with the EU to get a deal, because, let's face it, we don't hold all the cards. Parliament is fucked. And the people are fucked too. But not in that cool, entertainingly good way you see on dodgy internet sites. A man called Jacob came out of hiding, uttered some patronising bollocks about how Parliament isn't really fucked, and then disappeared off to count his tax haven money, while Dominic Cummings' mates tried to launch a faulty app that we have paid them to design because the Google one's just too ready. Did I mention that we're fucked?